talking values is more than talking about what's in the pamphlet or what's plastered on the walls of the brick and mortar organization. We're talking about what should be the foundation of our work and of what we're building on, no matter the industry, no matter the leadership style, no matter the personality styles on the team. The values level the playing field. It's something we can all go, yeah, let's agree on that. Let's build on that. And so that's what these conversations are going to be all about. What are those values? How do we see them being worked out on a daily basis? What do those values not look like? What are the challenges that come up when we try to live from that kind of conviction? How do we navigate that when there's a setback, when there's a challenge, when there's a change that really calls into question, are we going to stand on our convictions? Are we going to cling to this value? Or are we going to give it up for one reason or another? Today, though, I want to talk about my own personal values because I want to introduce you to what this is all about, but also to what I am all about. I'm going to tell you my top 4 core values that I find being outworked not only in my personal life, but in my professional life. These are the things I stand by, I create with, I write by, I lead by, and really what I want my whole life to be marked by. So the first one, really the most foundational, I believe, to all of mine is love. And this is not one that you commonly find on organizations' walls and in their core values. I mean, some maybe, but it's certainly a personal value of mine. I tell people when I'm training often, I love you even though I don't know you. There's not a person that I don't love. Now, do I dislike some people sometimes or their actions? Like, absolutely. But at the core, I value you as a person. And I love who you are. I can see strength in you. I can see beauty in you. I can see so many positive and amazing things in any person, truly. The potential is there. And so that love, that sense of love drives me. And also I need it. Like I've realized in my life, I need that sense. And so it drives me not only in my personal life, of course, as a mother, as a parent, as a daughter, as a sister, all those things, but it leads me in a way in my professional life that I think gives me a leg up in a lot of sense, because it's hard. It's hard to work with people. It's hard when you're struggling. If you're an entrepreneur, it's difficult, but that sense of love can keep you focused and keep you leaning in the right direction. And no matter what my days hold, no matter how well things go or how poorly things go, or if I make a mistake or if someone hurts my feelings or something like that, or says something I don't like, at the end of the day, I still love them. I still love myself, and I'm going to get on with life. And so I can rest my head easy at night. So it's a driving factor. The second core value that is a very core and central part of my life is that of truth. And I have clung to it as long as I can remember. Am I right all the time? No. Am I the sharpest tool in the shed and the smartest? Absolutely not. I love talking to other people and having great conversations, especially if they have a different perspective than I do, because I feel like I get to learn something. And I know I'm not the smartest, especially as I get older and my mind become forgetful of some of the things I've learned in the past. I have to be reminded sometimes. But speaking the truth, man, it is central, and it is something I never, ever, ever want to waver from. And that doesn't mean I don't speak the truth in love, but it means that I speak the truth come hell or high water. It also means that I can hear the truth come hell or high water. Like, I want to hear and I want to know the truth, even and especially even if it is tough, especially if it's difficult to hear. To me, like, that's when I want to hear it the most, is let me know the truth. Like, don't let me believe a lie. The worst thing is not knowing what I don't know, but thinking I know something that is actually not true. That's what I don't want. And so I want to be able to hear the truth. That's another reason why truth is so core and central to who I am and how I lead and how I want my life to be marked. A third core value that I have and that I want to see not only outworked in my personal life, but in my leadership and in the work I do is that of wonder. This one is kind of fun. I never want to have a day go by where I don't have a sense of wonder about something, about someone. Growing up, I was always obsessed with seeing the sunrise and the sunset. I would just take pictures of the sunrise and the sunset as much as I could. And I look back, and even then, when I was a young kid, and I would be using one of those like disposable Kodak cameras to do it, like I had this sense of wonder that every day this was happening, and it was so mundane, and yet there was this sense of awe about it, the sense of beauty about the sunrise and the sunset. And so in my everyday, and even in the work that I do, when I do a training, when I do, a keynote, I want there to be this sense of this wonder and awe even about it, because it makes us lean in, especially if we can look at the mundane and go, wow, I haven't seen it like that before, or that really spoke to me differently today, that value, or that thing you said, or that thing I saw in that person, or in the coworker I have, or the leader I have, or whatever, the sense of wonder. We can get it when we look at the people around us. Sometimes if we just step back and look at the work that's happening, you can even go, this is amazing. We're accomplishing something great here. So there can be that sense of wonder in it. And then the fourth core value that I see being outworked in my life in leadership is that of courage. Now, I do want to tell you this. Courage is not something that has always come very naturally to me, okay? Within my personality, within my leadership style, how I was raised even, courage is not something super core to who I am. But these other values, here's what I learned. Through the years, as I have been an adult and worked with people, had different friendships, had seasons come and go in different places, in different settings, in different sectors of life and work and leadership, here's what I've realized. It is really hard to love people sometimes. It's really hard to feel loved sometimes. Why? Because people have let me down. There is this risk involved with loving others. If you love someone, you tend to sacrifice for them. You tend to give of yourself more, right? And not just of your service and like the work that you're doing, but you give more of your heart and soul. And that's a risk when that person might not appreciate it, when they might turn around and betray you. It's a risk. And so I've realized that with love, I need courage. I need to make sure that I have courage in the love I am giving, the love I am sharing, or else I won't give it. It takes a lot of courage. It also takes courage to tell the truth. I mean, have you ever had to have a tough conversation and speak the truth to somebody in a way that you know was going to hurt them, but you needed to speak the truth? That's difficult. It's a risk. You don't know how they're going to respond. You don't know the feedback you're going to get. But all you know is you need to speak the truth. It takes an immense amount of courage. It takes courage to hear the truth, to face sometimes the misperceptions that we might have about a situation, about ourselves. It's really difficult, and it takes courage. It also takes courage to have a sense of wonder. I mean, I don't know about you, but in this world we live, there's so much negativity, there's so much conflict at times that it's very, very challenging to have any sense of wonder about anything. It takes courage to go, in the midst of all this going on, I'm going to be in awe of my kids and my family. I'm going to be in awe of the sunrise and sunset. Or what is the good and awe and wonder we can gather from, this week or this season, even though it's very difficult and very challenging. It takes courage to do that. And so those are my top 4, and that's what I'm all about and how I see those and see the opportunity for those to be outworked in my personal life in leadership, but also in my professional life in leadership. And so all of those are going to come into play. You're going to see from me in this time that we have together as we discuss values in a more in-depth manner and how we can see them outworked, what we do when we are faced with challenges or setbacks. How do you handle it when you are you're facing a situation where it's highly difficult to live out a certain value? How do you navigate that when you have that kind of roadblock and a setback. So I can't wait to tackle these things together. I know that we'll all learn from them. I know that I'll probably touch on your organization's values at some point or another, and hopefully it will put some steel in our convictions, and it'll help reaffirm and solidify the foundation that we are building our teams, our leadership, and our organizations on. I look forward to spending more time with you, and I hope to see you here again soon.